CATV is proudly presented by Toyota.
What's your assessment now? Do you think Australia has got the Ashes, almost in its grasp?
I don't think we could be in a better position. That's for sure. But we've still got 10 wickets to get. We're not taking anything for granted. But to finish day 370 in front. I mean that's position A. So I think today was an amazing day. Probably as good a day we've had in the Ashes so far.
Your own partnership with Davey Warner. I mean, that was your biggest one today. You seem to be having a good effect on him. Is he having an equally good effect on you?
He makes me look a bit stupid at times, but it's not that easy out there. But so for him to be playing the way he is, I mean, I don't think anyone could play as well as he is at the moment. It's unbelievable, and it takes the pressure off me. So just great to be a part of and watch him down the other end, because you don't get to see this too often.
David.
Chris, England looked to have to put a lot into it yesterday to just stay in with a shout, really. Did you feel when you were batting today that maybe the fight in them was just ebbing away a bit?
Maybe after a while, yeah. I think that the heat and being so far behind, it takes its toll, and it's almost, they realise perhaps that a victory's out of their grasp. So from there you get a bit defensive, and someone like Davey's going to take advantage of that.
Greg?
Just the way Australia scored reasonably freely there towards the end of the day, does that suggest, how do you assess the pitch, and does that sort of colour Australia's thoughts on any declaration, or how much is a good target to set?
Yeah, well, I think all in all it's a good surface, but these cracks are going to come more into play. So, it's flat, which means we have to put ourselves in a good position, but equally so, if these cracks keep widening, then, it's going to be very hard to bat on and a little bit scary.
Chris, you said you couldn't imagine anyone batting better than David at the moment. On a technical, is it technical sort of thing? Is there any shots he's playing you think, wow, look at that? Or is it foot movement? Is it, what particularly is impressing you about his game?
I think he just has an option for every ball, and that's an amazing skill to have. That batting down the other end, you've still got to wait for bad balls from the opposition, but he can make bad balls happen. So, to be able to hit the fast bowlers over their head for six, well done, mate. It's an amazing ability to do.
John?
Chris, can you just enlighten us about the sort of the psychological impact of being out there when the ball's going off the cracks like it has done today? Stokes got one that went sideways a ball or two before he got out, and I guess it's got to have an impact, doesn't it?
Horrible ringtone, Springer.
You want me to start again?
No, I got it. Yeah, look, I think they know that particularly with our pace, that gets a bit worrisome. I might have expected a little, some more verbals after that, but they didn't say anything. So, maybe that's them knowing that it's going to come their way as well.
Yeah, just on the same sort of thing. The cracks, the one that got you in the chest is. Is that pretty typical of what you've experienced in your long career at the WACA? Or?
No, I can't. It's hard to remember cracks like this. I think maybe when I started, there were a couple of pitches that were like this, and it got a bit nasty. So hopefully that continues to happen. But yeah, I can't remember cracks like this. But to be fair, I reckon it's the best WACA pitch I've played on in a long time.
Tim?
Chris, having played in the Ashes series in England last summer, aside from the obvious, what for you is the big difference? There's a big gulf between the two sides now. What for you has been the massive change?
I think conditions have been different, and we're a lot more suited to playing here. You only have to look at Davey. He probably struggled, with how to play in England, and back here he's just, he's in his element. But the other thing is, I think our pace, that to have Mitch bowling 150 plus on these wickets, you know, makes a huge difference. So, yeah, I mean, I think conditions have probably dictated, but also I think we're developing as a side. We've been a lot more settled now for a while, and that counts. So I think we're going in the right direction.
Can you enlighten us a little bit on the conversation between Davey and Ian Bell and Matt Pryor towards the start of the innings, please?
That was a long time ago. No. No, I mean, there's a lot of intensity out there, and things are said, and so be it. You know, that we're all men. I think we're happy to deal with it out in the middle. You know, Davey was quite fired up, and so be it. And it just means that it's going to come back around in the next innings.
And, from a kind of psychological point of view, is David Warner perhaps the sort of batsman not to get involved with, because it, like you say, it fires him up a bit?
Yeah, but he's so annoying you have to get into him. So, yeah, I mean, I think you only have to look at his celebration. That, you know, it obviously meant a lot to him, and the fact that he could, you know, give it back to a few of the English guys, you know, it may drive him. So England might have to do something different.